has taken over. Let's go. It's Ferrall. Coast to coast. Steaks, chicks, stacks. You and I are going to make a lot of money. It's Ferrall, coast to coast. So I think you want to get your hands on the SportsGrid app on iOS or Android in the Play Store. It's free. It's unbelievable. I mean, electronics at its finest. It's got the TV side on it, the radio side on it. You can watch, you can listen. Follow your favorite hosts like Carver High. It's got in-game odds. It's got everything. The SportsGrid app. Get it today. You won't be disappointed. And remember, it's free. Hey, did you know we're streaming on X? Including right this very second. It's on always, all day, every day, all week, all month, all year. On X at SportsGrid-Live. Every week you can get the Ferrall Coast to Coast and Ferrall on the Bench podcasts on iTunes and wherever you download podcasts. Every show, 2 shows a day, 5 days a week, Monday through Friday. Check it out. I think you'll dig it. All right, let's look at the lineup for tonight on SportsGrid TV. So at 6, it's Front Office Sports. Today at 6:30, it's Game Time Decisions with the mayor of Miami, Joe Ranieri, today. And then at 8 o'clock, it's the original OG In-Game Live with Scott Wetzel tonight. And then Sports Rage is at 10 Eastern on SportsGrid TV. On SportsGrid Radio at 8 to 10, it's The Institution, Carver and Lisi. You get it all on SportsGrid. Get on the grid. You'll like it. Why go anywhere else? SportsGrid TV, SportsGrid Radio. We've got you covered. All right, we're into hour 2 here on a Pain-Free Friday. We've been talking about the NBA Finals, Game 7, Sunday night. The lines moved from 8.5 to 7.5. TJ McConnell, we've certainly been talking about him, Carver High.
We certainly have. Let me give you some notes and numbers about Game 7 here before I give you the only numbers that matter, and that, of course, is the line. TJ McConnell, the first bench player in NBA Finals history with 60-plus points, 25-plus dimes, and 15-plus boards in a series. That's how good McConnell has been. Tremendous job by him. This is the 20th NBA Finals Game 7. The first since the Warriors-Cavs in 2016. I know you remember that one, Scotty. That was the one the Cavs won. LeBron had the block, right? I saw that clip like 600 times already this morning. That LeBron running down the court block that he had to win that Game 7. The Cavs are actually one of the 3 teams, believe it or not. 3 teams in the NBA Finals won Game 6 when they were down 3-2. Then went on to win Game 7. Last 3 have done it. The Cavs in 16, the Heat in 13, and the Lakers in 10. So what the Pacers are trying to do, not out of the question, but remember one thing here. Only one of those 3 went to play the Game 7 on the road, and that was the Cavs in that LeBron game at Golden State. Yeah, and they had LeBron, and so did like the Heat, and so did the Lakers had Kobe. And the Pacers don't have anything like that. They really don't. Nothing even close to any of those. So they're screwed. You're talking legends involved in those Game 7s coming back from down 3-2. That's right. And finishing the job. And I agree. As good as the Pacers have been, they do not have anyone of that level here. Home teams are 15-4 in Game 7s in NBA Final history. I just mentioned the Cavs in 16, 78 Bullets, 74 Celtics, 69 Celtics. The only ones to win it on the road. So, I mean, now you're talking even further out in the woods in terms of winning a Game 7 on the road in the NBA Finals. Very, very difficult. Pacers are one of 10 NBA franchises to never win an NBA title. Brooklyn, the Clippers, Charlotte, Memphis, Minnesota, New Orleans, Orlando, Phoenix, and Utah are the other 9. I know some might say, wait, Oklahoma City? Remember, Oklahoma City still has the Seattle Supersonics history. So technically, Oklahoma City has won an NBA title in their franchise history, Scotty, they could say. Well, I think the Pacers will still be on that list, but they had a hell of a season. There's no denying, and they had really, I think, a hell of a season last year too.
a great franchise and they got great fans. And, it's the same old story for me, knowing the blood that flows through the veins of every Hoosier. There is nothing like basketball in the state of Indiana. I stand by the comments I've made before. There is no state, including North Carolina, I believe, better than Indiana when it comes to basketball. I think Duke and North Carolina are incredible, but the Hornets aren't. And let me tell you something else. Duke and North Carolina is, without question, amazing what they've done in college basketball. But there is no way that anyone can tell me that the history of college and high school basketball in the state of Indiana is unequaled. It's unequaled. They made movies about it. It is the greatest state for basketball in the union. That's all there is to it. You never hear about, when is the last time you heard about high school basketball in North Carolina? I mean, besides never. But you hear about Indiana high school boys basketball. I can guarantee you that. And you've heard of Mr. Basketball. You don't hear, is there a Mr. North Carolina? I've never heard of one. I know they may have one, but I've never heard of one. But you've heard of Mr. Basketball. They talk about it in Indiana. They talk about it in Ohio. And I am telling you, Indiana high school basketball is bigger than life. So is college basketball. You cannot even compare it to anywhere. People in Indiana are crazy about basketball. Like, if you drive in Indiana, the two things you will see, I guarantee you, are basketball poles and farmland. That's all there is basketball hoops. Every driveway has one. Every barn has one. Every school has one. They're everywhere. I mean, there's more basketball hoops than trees.
Everybody loves basketball in Indiana.
That's
There's
it.
No question.
That's all they care about. They love basketball more than their families and their children.
If the Pacers win Game 7, they'd be the first team in at least 35 years to win an NBA title after being underdog in every game of this series. And that's precisely what they'll be again on Sunday night. 7.5 for the Oklahoma City Thunder at home at the Paycom. Total 215.5 for Game 7.
You see there, it says they'll win by 6. And they have almost a 70% chance to win. I still don't feel it. I feel 10 or more. I feel 10 or more for the Thunder. I want it. Like, I took the Pacers last night, but they played at the field house. I've hit a lot of spreads in this series. I'm just going to tell you, like, that team in a winner-take-all game, they've been the best team in the NBA all year, and I say they prove it one more time and win by at least a dozen. They win by 10 or 12.
Every time I think that I want to take Indiana here on Sunday night, I keep thinking of what Oklahoma City did to Denver in that Game 7 when they got back to the Paycom earlier. I mean, they just completely ripped them to shreds. Like, it's just like when they know that they
Joker was
absolutely have to
drinking beer
have
by the third quarter on the sideline.
Yeah, I think it's I think this game, how about this? Here's what would be best for everybody. I think this game's close for 2.5, 3 quarters, and Oklahoma City finishes them and covers in the fourth quarter and takes them down. I don't think it's a full-blown 30-point blowout, an unwatchable game. I think Indiana's in it, and OKC's just too much in the end, and they take them down.
I think it would be better if they showed Gene Hackman measuring the hoop, and then you have the drunk assistant coach with a bottle, a brown bag.
Shooter.
That's what we need in Game 7.
Shooter.
Enter into the magical world of McLuck.com, where even the smallest of spins can win real cash prizes. Adventure into over 1,000 of the best Vegas-style slot games. So what are you waiting for? Unlock your free welcome offer today. Join the fun where winners play, and players win.
Dialing it back to his old days with St. Louis and Arizona. Buy or sell, Goldie will finish top 7 in fantasy first baseman.
No, I'm going to say no. I think he'll fall off. Older player here, he'll be top 10, but not top 7 here. Top 10, I would say I'd buy it. Top 7, I'm going to say no here. I think he'll put up decent numbers here. Not as good as he was. I don't think he's going to bat 340, 350 all year long.
Fantasy Sports Today, only on SportsGrid.
I'm with you in that you're going to have to take calculated risks. And that's what Leon Rose has been about since he's been here. And he's been measured. He hasn't been gung-ho in terms of mortgaging this franchise's future for immediate gains. They have had a prudent approach, and you're going to have to roll the dice in certain respects to get to that top level. And you're right, Donnie, when you look at next season, all things considered, you hope that they're healthy, and if they roll over, say, 85 to 90% of this roster, this is a top 3 team in the East. With Boston coming down, Milwaukee's going to come down, and so you have to figure it's going to be Indiana, the Knicks, the Cleveland Cavaliers in some sort of order in the preseason rankings. And so where they go from here, Jason Kidd is obviously the hot name right now. Both sides are interested from what we've heard in terms of Kidd and the New York Knicks. Is he that championship caliber coach to take the Knicks there?
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
Every 5 days, it's really exciting when Skeens pitches, and it's terrible watching him pitch because every time he pitches, they don't score.
Having him hit the lineup probably would actually help when he pitches. There's no way to do it because you can't, but yeah, it's beyond frustrating. And the numbers will tell you, the books have adjusted.
Ferrall Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid.
He told me that he believes that my heartburn and reflux problem is caused by rum, and Carver High added that I should have another. So I got one guy telling me, shut it down, and then I got another guy saying, have another one. You're all right. Like, I don't know, and then there's Luke, have another. You have a double rum, and then you get a little heartburn, and Mobby's like, I'm telling you, it's causing it. It's like sticking to your innards. And then Carver High's like, be a man. Have another. I love it around here. The advice I get from the crew and all the co-hosts and producers and everyone, it's fantastic. Kill yourself. I love it. My wife's been trying to kill me for years, as you've seen. She gave me a massive heart attack. She tried to sleep with my surgeon. Are we on the air?
Yes.
Don't.
Yes, we are. We are.
Don't relive that stop talking about. Okay.
It's all right. It's okay. Last thing here for Sunday, and that's this finals MVP.
Whoa.
So with the Pacers now making Game 7, odds have changed. SGA now minus 240. Siakam plus 320. Then J-Dub, and then Halliburton. It sounds like, Scotty, let's just get down to the chase here. If the Thunder win, it's SGA. If the Pacers win, it's Siakam. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, and so what's going to happen is Shai Gilgeous is going to win it, and that'll be the end of it.
Correct, because the Thunder are going to win. So that's how it's going to go on Sunday night in the NBA
I would love
Finals.
to come
Game
here
7,
Monday night and be talking about the upset of the ages, but we'll see if that comes to fruition. I'm not feeling it.
And it would be enormous. Remember we gave you that remember that thing at the beginning of the series I gave you? The 10 biggest favorites in NBA Finals history. Only one of them had lost. Well, they'd be the second if they lost this game on Sunday night to go down how heavy a favorite they were. Okay, a few other NBA things, and I'll move on. Steve Kerr's son, Nicholas, he'll be joining the Warriors staff after spending the last 2 seasons as head coach of Santa Cruz in the G League. Steve Kerr's son finally said, get me the hell out of Santa Cruz. I want to go be with you in the big club. Let's go.
Let's just get down to business here. I didn't know he had a son. And I also know that Santa Cruz is really fantastic for surfing. And they do have a roller coaster right down by the beach. I have surfed there. It is cool. I like Santa Cruz. I could care less about Steve's son.
LeBron James has a burgeoning relationship with the Amazon people. That could lead him to joining Prime's NBA coverage. I don't know if that means like starting next year or like when he retires. Like when does that mean he's going to like be on television for Amazon Prime for NBA games?
I think he's already planting the seed. It's a done deal. My man is going to be making movies in Hollywood. They're gonna make him into a movie star one way or another. And I don't believe that, frankly, I think a side hustle might be doing NBA games on Prime or something. He is in bed with Prime. He's doing commercials for Prime now. So I think that what he really wants, he's already said he wants to be an actor. So I don't think that means doing commercials either. I think he wants to actually be in motion pictures. He already has a gigantic production company. He's already got his foot so far into Hollywood's arse, it's not even funny. And who's going to say no to this guy? He literally is larger than Los Angeles. He's enormous. They're going to make him a star as sure as I'm sitting here. He'll be in movies soon. I mean, they put Michael Jordan in tons of movies. And he was doing cartoon movies, Disney movies. I mean, what hasn't he done? Didn't Michael Jordan do like Bugs Bunny movies? Like I can't stop it. So there's nothing you can do about it. And remember, Michael Jordan's a billionaire, and so is LeBron James, and they'll do whatever they want.
That's correct. That's precisely what they want to do. I don't picture him as someone doing like analyzing the game. Like I don't see that from LeBron. Maybe I'm wrong. We see Brady doing it. We see maybe I'm wrong, but just doesn't seem like his thing. I think he likes doing that thing where he sits on the couch drinking the wine with Nash. He used to do it with Redick. Like he sits there and gives you all of his thoughts about basketball. I think he likes doing that. I think that's more up his alley.
Yeah, listen, I just want to be clear. So I'm not one to sit around watching any of that.
No,
I've never watched, like you got like, I really like golf, and I watched that first season of that swing show, and then I never watched it again. So I must not have liked it that much. Like, I don't care what these people do in their spare time. I really don't. Like, they try to make celebrities out of all these athletes. Like this guy, what's his name? The guy in Philadelphia with the Eagles that they've tried to turn into him and his brother, the Kelce's, or what? No, what's the guy?
Yes,
is that his
Kelce,
brother?
Yeah,
I'm sick of that guy.
Jason
like,
Kelce.
I can't even watch a game anymore without seeing his stupid commercials. I mean, he's on every other commercial on television. Like he's in the neighbor's house watching YouTube TV. I honestly, I want to gouge my eyes out. I'm not into it. Like I know, like I don't matter. But I also know he thinks he's funny and he's not. Like, when is the last time you watched that dude and you laughed? Are you really laughing at his comedy? I'm not. Thanks so much. I don't laugh at Stephen Colbert either. I really don't.
I don't get the infatuation with either of them. I don't really understand.
Ever since Letterman left, I've been done. I like Fallon. I think he's a great dude. I don't watch late night talk shows. I used to watch David Letterman. Once you lose David Letterman and Johnny Carson, you are effed. I was on Letterman twice. Trust me, they don't make them like that anymore. Not only that, I would rather watch David Letterman at an IndyCar race as a team owner than I would watch comedy late night television. It's so awful with their presidential jokes and their stupid skits. At least Fallon's singing songs and acting like a drunk. At least he has fun doing it. The other ones aren't funny. They're not funny at all. At all.
Second homer of the day for Cal Raleigh gives the Mariners a 6-4 lead.
Oh my God, he's got 29 now.
29 for the big number. Most homers by a catcher before the All-Star break.
MVP.
Ever.
Aaron Judge can't hit.
dialing it back to his old days with St. Louis and Arizona. Buy or sell, Goldie will finish top 7 in fantasy first baseman.
No, I'm going to say no. I think he'll fall off. Older player here. He'll be top 10, but not top 7 here. Top 10, I would say I'd buy it. Top 7, I'm going to say no here. I think he'll put up decent numbers here. Not as good as he was. I don't think he's going to bat 340, 350 all year long.
Fantasy Sports Today, only on SportsGrid.
I'm with you in that you're going to have to take calculated risks. And that's what Leon Rose has been about since he's been here. And he's been measured. He hasn't been gung-ho in terms of mortgaging this franchise's future for immediate gains. They have had a prudent approach, and you're going to have to roll the dice in certain respects to get to that top level. And you're right, Donnie, when you look at next season, all things considered, you hope that they're healthy, and if they roll over, say, 85 to 90% of this roster, this is a top 3 team in the East. With Boston coming down, Milwaukee is going to come down, and so you have to figure it's going to be Indiana, the Knicks, the Cleveland Cavaliers in some sort of order in the preseason rankings. And so where they go from here, Jason Kidd is obviously the hot name right now. Both sides are interested from what we've heard in terms of Kidd and the New York Knicks. Is he that championship caliber coach to take the Knicks there?
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
Every 5 days, it's really exciting when Skeens pitches, and it's terrible watching him pitch because every time he pitches, they don't score.
Having him hit the lineup probably would actually help when he pitches. There's no way to do it because you can't. But, yeah, it's beyond frustrating. And the numbers will tell you, the books have adjusted.
Ferrall Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid.
Do you think that LeBron will end up doing like Naked Gun type movies like OJ did, or do you think he'll be like OJ and end up killing a bunch of people? I'm just asking.
Didn't we
it's Friday.
do this?
Can we
do this
it
with
on
Adrian
air?
Peterson the other day? Didn't we do
We
this
did.
with Adrian Peterson the other
We
day?
did.
No.
I have a big thing for serial killers. I love, stories about that kind of stuff. And, I like war on television, hurricanes, and serial killers.
Wasn't LeBron in, what was the one? I mean, the movie wasn't funny, but it was a comedy. Wasn't LeBron in a movie a couple years ago?
I hope not.
What was it called, Mafia? I'm sorry. What was it? Trainwreck with Amy Schumer. That's right. LeBron was in that. He did some acting in that.
Oh, yeah, with Amy Schumer.
Yeah, so LeBron was in that.
I remember when she was funny.
Space Jam. Okay, so he's done a little bit of acting, I guess, if you could call it that. Happy anniversary to Zion Williamson. 6 years ago today, the Pelicans drafted him first overall. He's only played in 45.3% of those games and has not won a playoff series.
Hey, but at least on the bright side, he's been accused of rape.
Yes, he's had some trouble as well recently in the news. Not a good scene for him. WNBA points per game leaders in the month of June. Caitlin Clark, 26 points a game. Sabrina Ionescu, 24.4. And Paige Beckers, 23.7. Clark's Fever now third in odds to win the WNBA title behind the Liberty and the Lynx.
No one cares at all, but I will say this. If you want to talk about Sophie Cunningham, I'm open for offers. Like that
now,
chick
is
is
she
so
the
hot
one that's become... She's
Yes.
like Clark's muscle now out on the court.
She's the muscle, and she's passed. Like, I know that Clark's like the greatest player, but no one like cares. Like, I don't like. We all know she's great. What I want to see is that Sophie chick beating up chicks, and she's hotter. Like Caitlin, is fair to Midland at best. Like, if I'm gonna look, if I got some hot chick that should be in movies and be in Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue, or she's smoke show hot. Like, people say you can't talk about women. Okay, well, I can, and I think she's smoking hot, and I could care less about any WNBA player at all what they score, if they win, what their odds are. But if you want to talk about that chick, I'm open. My ears are open because watching her do anything is exciting to me. Like just walking into the arena, they showed her yesterday on a beanbag sitting there, like wearing nothing. It was just fantastic. I mean, they said she soared to number 2 in popularity in the WNBA. She's already passed everyone else in the league. And these other people talking about this candy ass chick that can't shoot in Chicago. I won't even say her name. She's so awful. I give a rat's ass about her ugly ass. I want to talk about that smoking hot blonde. I mean, they're going to have her in movies before you know it. You know why? Because if you're that beautiful, who cares about your stupid basketball game? Honestly, they need to get her into Hollywood immediately. That girl. In fact, I think she should be, believe it or not, I'm going to put her in there because doesn't King Charles he's sick. I think she should be the new Queen of England. She's so hot. They can make her the Queen of England, and she could be the Queen of England for like 50 years until she gets old and ugly. I want to look at her for the next 50 years. Is there anything else? Did I cover that in terms of around, like getting around like all sides of it like you like me to do?
So I'm going to guess you'll be glued to the TV Sunday at 3 for Fever Aces tip-off at 3 o'clock East.
Yeah, not to watch the game at all, but to watch her.
Okay.
It's too bad she has to wear a basketball uniform when I watch her.
Oh, there we go. Her TikTok gained over 500,000 followers after
soon to be 5 million.
It's probably trending in that direction. There you go.
If you go on X right now, you won't last 30 seconds before you see 20 stories about her. She's unavoidable. And you know why? Because she smokes so hot. That's why. People are like, you can't say that about a woman. Oh, yeah? Well, I guarantee you she loves the fact that everybody thinks she's hot. Why do you think they dress the way they dress walking into the arenas? Because they don't want to be called hot? Or they just want to be, catwalk, good looking? Or they don't want to be in magazines and fashion shows and the Met Gala? Who are you kidding? They all live for it. That's all they do. They don't even care about the basketball game. They care about being seen walking into those arenas. And so do all those drip basketball players on the men's side, including all the announcers, including guys that announce and make too much money that think they're special walking into arenas. I want to look at her, not those idiots.
Here we go at Oakmont. Let's start with the course. What do we know about this course? How long is the rough, and does course history come into effect for you this week?
The U.S. Open has always been billed as the most difficult test of golf there is on the planet. And I tell you what, it's often labeled as the most difficult golf course in the world is Oakmont.
Game time decisions. Only on SportsGrid.
We don't want you playing here. Can you move positions? Do something else. He starts the season like 0 for 150, it felt like, and finally finds himself in a groove at the plate, hitting 272. 15 home runs on the season? Now he's shipped to San Francisco.
What is management going to do? Nobody who's paying you $313.5 million is going to hear anything from you. They'll figure out a way to get rid of you, and that's exactly what they did. The early line, only on SportsGrid.
Every 5 days, it's really exciting when Skeens pitches, and it's terrible watching him pitch because every time he pitches, they don't score.
Having him hit the lineup probably would actually help when he pitches. There's no way to do it because you can't, but yeah, it's beyond frustrating. And the numbers will tell you, the books have adjusted.
Ferrall coast to coast, only on SportsGrid.
Dialing it back to his old days with St. Louis and Arizona. Buy or sell, Goldie will finish top 7 in fantasy first baseman.
No, I'm going to say no. I think he'll fall off. Older player here. He'll be top 10, but not top 7 here. Top 10, I would say I'd buy it. Top 7, I'm going to say no here. I think he'll put up decent numbers here. Not as good as he was. I don't think he's going to bat 340, 350 all year long.
Fantasy sports today, only on SportsGrid.
right, so turning the corner on a pain-free Friday. I'm Ferrall with Carver High in New York, and we're gonna go in a different direction now, thank God, and talk baseball. Mafia said I'm in trouble for my comments on hot basketball players that sleep with front office executives and get traded to another team.
We do have a lot of baseball to do as we head into the first weekend of summer. Why don't we start with another topic you love, which is baseball players fighting each other and getting mad at each other. I know that gets you excited as well. The Padres did finally beat the Dodgers last night 5-3, but of course it was all the extracurricular activities. Once again, Fernando Tatis Jr. and Shohei Ohtani getting plunked in the ninth inning. Here's what started it all off in the top half of the ninth with Tatis on Padres TV.
Oh, up and in, and he gets hit. 93. And Schilt comes out, barking, upset. Dave Roberts now, and they're going to come together. Dave Roberts coming out as Schilt was yelling in his direction. Whoa. And now a little shove from Roberts of Schilt. And now everybody unloading onto the field. The managers started, and now the players are involved too.
It was only a matter of time. Toddy's been hit twice and has each time handled it like a pro.
So, listen, I thought it was fantastic. And remember that it happened twice this week. It wasn't once, it was twice. And the exact same guys. Tatis got plunked, and then Ohtani got plunked, and then the same thing happened again last night. So Schilt had enough. And then I think I'm taking Schilt over Dave Roberts. I think Schilt, his anger and his temper was way better than Dave Roberts. So I always like the guy that's crazy in a fight. I'll take Schilt at 3-1, and I actually think he'd beat Dave Roberts' ass. And in fact, I hope to see it again later in the season.
And the funniest thing was that Roberts did make some contact with him. He came up and gave him a little bit of a bump, but then Roberts, after he did that, like scurried back behind like 7 or 8 other guys and got really far away from him after that.
So he's a wussy.
That tells you everything. Now, of course, 2 very different sides to this story. Why don't we start with Dave Roberts, who says, I just had the kid out there, he's making his major league debut. He was walking guys. He obviously had no control. Sure. There was no intent there.
Talking about intent versus no intent. And so I think that anyone understands that there was no intent there. And even by my reaction, I didn't feel good about Tatis, a great player, good guy, getting hit. I didn't feel good about it. And so as he comes out and he's yelling at me and staring me down, that bothers me because, to be quite frank, that's the last thing I wanted. I'm taking starters out of the game and, trying to, get this game over and get this kid a couple innings. And so that's why I felt, I took that personal because I understand the game and know that I understand it doesn't feel good to get hit, but understand, again, intent versus clearly no intent.
Okay, so, but I'm sure he had a problem with them beaning Ohtani. So, right. I say tit for tat. Like, you bean our guy. I said this the other day. You bean Tatis, we're going to bean Ohtani. That's exactly what should happen. And you know what? All this talk about the managers have no idea that their guys are going to beat them. I don't care. If the pitcher beans the star player, then you hit their star player. And then you have a fight. That's it. It's simple as that. I don't care about the wussy manager who is like trying to talk his way out of it like he has nothing to do with it and how he loves Tatis, my ass. They don't like the Padres. The Padres don't like them. Let's just have the fight already. Like, it was so close to happening last night. Right. I was hoping it would.
Well, the problem was I think you would have got a pretty good one, but Ohtani waved them back in. Like, Ohtani got hit, and then he was waving at the dugout to stay in. Come on, let him come out. Pete
Rose would have gone out and knocked someone's teeth out. He would have thrown the punch. Like, these guys nowadays, they're all talk and there's no fight. When is the last time you saw a fight? Nolan Ryan. You remember? Do you remember when Nolan Ryan, he had him under the arm and he's giving him the business? That's about the last time I saw somebody get punched in a baseball game. Like, actually
it's very
punched.
rare. My favorite, I think, was in the late 90s. I remember the Oriole-Yankee fight where Armando Benitez hit Tino Martinez.
Yeah.
And it spilled into the dugout, and Strawberry came over and gave a guy a right. Like, that was a fight. That was
I like
fights.
Nolan
Ryan. That's what you really don't get any. The only one I even remember in the last 10 or 15 years was, didn't Rugi Odor and Jose Batista have one where that guy got blocked and he got knocked out? There's been a couple, but really nothing. Romine and Miggy was a good one too with the Yankees a few years back, but it's so rare because, like you said,
it's like about 5'3",
and he cleaned out. Tim Anderson had one, but you don't get it that they're usually it's like a country club atmosphere when they go out. Here's Schilt just to end this all. I don't think he agrees with Robert's assessment that there was no intent to the player.
Do you think the pitch was intentional to hit Tatis tonight in that spot?
I'd like to think not, but I can't say that. Only a couple people know that. And whether it was or it wasn't, enough is enough. We got a guy that's getting x-rays right now. It's one of the best players in the game, of course, on our team. And this guy's has taken shots. Okay? And before this series, and I can back this up with complete evidence, track records speak for themselves. Teams that I manage don't get into altercations like this because teams I manage don't throw at people. But also teams I manage don't take anything. And after a while, I'm not going to take it. And I'm not going to take it on behalf of Toddy. I'm not going to take it on behalf of our team, intentional or unintentional. It's really that simple. That's how this game's played. And you want to call that old school, then yeah, we'll play old school baseball.
Okay, so how many times do they have to beat him before you realize they're throwing at him? They beat him twice in 4 days. Like, they went after him twice. So they went after Ohtani. And the difference is that I don't know who it hurt more. I mean, because one guy definitely was a juicer, and the other one I wouldn't be surprised is, and he was in he got out of that jam with all that betting, didn't he? Like, they put that other guy in prison for the rest of his life, and here's what Ohtani did like this, like he didn't even know him. So. One guy was a juicer, and he cheats, and the other guy, God only knows what he was involved in. People think he's all born again and didn't do anything. I'm not one of them.
Well, remember, that guy stole from him. He had no knowledge of anything that was going on. He was his right-hand man for 4 or 5 years while he was living in America playing baseball. But had no idea that he was betting all this money.
His bank account and betting.
No idea. Had no clue that any of it was going on. Mizuhara. Manny Machado actually had a good line, too. He said, the Dodgers better light a candle and pray that Tatis is okay. I wouldn't want Manny knocking on my door being upset with me. So you don't want to get Manny Machado upset.
Like I said, when they play again, which they will, yes. I think it's coming again. And this time, hopefully, someone will, have their jaw broken.
Yeah, somebody needs to, just get.
I like
get
baseball fights. Baseball's so boring. They need more of that. The Pirates and the fans last night. Well, I know we're going to talk about that.
They were fighting the
Pirates
fans.
They were feisty last night in the doubleheader.
Here we go at Oakmont. Let's start with the course. What do we know about this course? How long is the rough, and does course history come into effect for you this week?
The U.S. Open has always been billed as the most difficult test of golf there is on the planet. And I tell you what, it's often labeled as the most difficult golf course in the world is Oakmont.
Game time decisions. Only on SportsGrid.
We don't want you playing here. Can you move positions? Do something else. He starts the season like 0 for 150, it felt like, and finally finds himself in a groove at the plate, hitting 272. 15 home runs on the season? Now he's shipped to San Francisco.
What is management going to do? Nobody who's paying you $313.5 million is going to hear anything from you. They'll figure out a way to get rid of you, and that's exactly what they did.
The early line, only on SportsGrid.
Every 5 days, it's really exciting when Skeens pitches. And it's terrible watching him pitch because every time he pitches, they don't score.
Having him hit the lineup probably would actually help when he pitches. There's no way to do it because you can't. But, yeah, it's beyond frustrating. And the numbers will tell you, the books have adjusted.
Ferrall coast to coast, only on SportsGrid.
Dialing it back to his old days with St. Louis and Arizona. Buy or sell, Goldie will finish top 7 in fantasy first baseman.
No, I'm going to say no. I think he'll fall off. Older player here. He'll be top 10, but not top 7 here. Top 10, I would say I'd buy it. Top 7, I'm going to say no here. I think he'll put up decent numbers here. Not as good as he was. I don't think he's going to bat 340, 350 all year long.
Fantasy sports today, only on SportsGrid.
I see your boy, don't call me the old blue liner, hit another walk-off last night out in the Sutter wine district in Sacktown.
Yeah, big night again in Sacramento for Nick Kurtz. Earlier this week, we played a walk-off homer for him against the Astros. Well, why don't we do it again last night, once again on A's Radio.
Hader at the belt. 2-1 pitch, swung on, fly ball to center field. This will end it. Going back is Myers at the wall. He's done it again. Nick Kurtz with another walk-off homer for the A's, and they win it 6-4.
They have a guy in their lineup named MacGyver. Isn't that the guy that had all the gadgets? MacGyver?
That guy, he homered last night. What was that guy's name? They must have just called him up.
Didn't
even I
Caratini
was a
hit
little,
one too?
I was
like
a little
last
stunned.
night?
Yeah, this Caratini. Everyone except the guys I had. Yeah, his name was MacIver. Willie MacIver. MacIver.
We're going to call him MacGyver permanently.
Your boy Willie getting involved. Nice win for the A's as they split with the Astros. The Orioles beat Tampa 4-1 down at Steinbrenner Field. The big blow there, Colton Cowser, a 3-run shot on Masson.
And so it seems. Now raises the glove high, and Cowser unloads to right. Gone! His second home run on an 0-2 pitch in the series. His third overall. The Moobirds rain down here at the Big Stein, and that tall glass of milk gives the Orioles a 4-1 lead.
How about they're booing him? Meanwhile, they've won like 21 of 26, and they're booing him.
Yeah, imagine that. Honestly, like they've been on fire. They lose one game. Let's boo down on them. Braves beat the Mets 7-1. Braves needed that. They sweep the Mets. Matt Olson getting involved, ripping one down the line on FanDuel Sportsnet.
Down the right field line. Stay fair. Yes, it will. Here they come. Riley around third. A bases clearing double for Matt Olson.
Wow, it was very exciting for everyone.
It was. Spencer Strider, 6 innings, 5 hits, 1 run, and 8 strikeouts for the win for Atlanta. What's wrong with New York baseball, Scotty? How about this? They started the season combined, the Mets and the Yankees, 87-49. But since June 13th, 1-12, the Mets and the Yankees.
Awful.
They've gone from scoring 4.6 runs a game to 2.1. They're allowing a run and a half more per game. They had a plus 202 run differential combined, now a minus 33. The Mets and the Yankees not liking the change to the summer heat here in the New York metropolitan area the last few weeks.
It's like the stinky city itself with all the garbage and, bad things on the streets and rats and urine and everything else. It just the heat and then the cement, and it just rises up and hits you in the face. That's what's happened to the Mets and the Yankees. The sticky Jones summer.
The Met loss and the sweep in Atlanta combined with what the Phillies did last night in Miami means that they are now tied for first in the NL East heading into a series tonight. How did the Phillies get a win last night? Little late inning heroics from who else? A little Schwarbomb on NBC Sports Philadelphia. Ring the bell.
Before you knew it, that one's drilled deep to right center field. Way back there. Gone! Home run, Kyle Schwarber! And the Phillies have taken the lead.
I mean, this guy's 40 homers plus every year. It's ridiculous what he does. All he does is stand in there and swing, and when he connects, it's gone. That's what he does. This guy hits home runs. That's all he does.
Tanks. The guy loves to hit tanks. It's just absolutely amazing. Another good performance from Ranger Danger Suarez. 1.17 ERA in his last 8 starts. That's third behind Chris Sale and Paul Skeens. Ranger Danger has been excellent for Philly. Speaking of the Pirates, they split that doubleheader with the Tigers. We know what happened in the day game. And then in the night, Paul Skeens, 9 strikeouts. He went 5 innings. Pirates scored 4 in the 10th. So they gave Skeens a 4-0 lead. I saw McCutchen had a homer. And then the bullpen yacked up the Skeens lead and the win.
He never wins.
Well, it's weird. They actually scored him 4 runs this time. And this time the bullpen can't get the job done. Usually they lose 1-0 and everyone pitches well. He finally gets some runs. And they can't finish the job for him, but at least they won in extra innings.
I mean, let's face facts. Like, Skubal and Skeens are really the deal in Major League Baseball. They're the deal. Those are the 2 best pitchers in baseball. And I think I'm going to say it, even if Garrett Cole were healthy, he's not in their league anymore. Gives up too many home runs. This guy Skubal and Skeens, both of them, they don't give up runs. All they do is mow through lineups and strike guys out and give up no runs. That's it.
That is what they do. They have been outstanding. And the Pirates also, I guess, they had problems with the fans in Detroit. They had the reliever, Dennis Santana,
hammered.
Took a swing at a fan in the bullpen area. Pham had some problems behind home plate with some fans and had them thrown out. What was going on in Detroit yesterday with the Buccos?
Santana swung at a guy who was 15 feet above him, so he jumped about 12 feet, and then he swung a haymaker at the guy and, missed him by, I think he was probably a foot short because the guy was up so high. And then Pham, he was taking on the entire home plate section, and all of the drunks behind home plate at Comerica stood up and started giving him the business with language and fingers and everything else. They were throwing beers. And then, of course, your boy Don Kelly came out, and he gave him the stink eye. And he didn't start up with him because he knew he wasn't going to win with a bunch of drunks. So he just narked him out to the umps, and they had him tossed. But Tommy Pham wanted to go into the stands and beat the shack out of people. Like, they had to really pull him back. Santana, they just walked him out of the bullpen and said, "You're done for the night." Pham wanted to fight.
Here we go at Oakmont. Let's start with the course. What do we know about this course? How long is the rough, and does course history come into effect for you this week?
The U.S. Open has always been billed as the most difficult test of golf there is on the planet. And I tell you what, it's often labeled as the most difficult golf course in the world is Oakmont.
Game time decisions. Only on SportsGrid.
We don't want you playing here. Can you move positions? Do something else. He starts the season like 0 for 150, it felt like, and finally finds himself in a groove at the plate, hitting 272. 15 home runs on the season? Now he's shipped to San Francisco.
What is management going to do? Nobody who's paying you $313.5 million is going to hear anything from you. They'll figure out a way to get rid of you, and that's exactly what they did.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
Every 5 days, it's really exciting when Skeens pitches. And it's terrible watching him pitch because every time he pitches, they don't score.
Having him hit the lineup probably would actually help when he pitches. There's no way to do it because you can't. But, yeah, it's beyond frustrating. And the numbers will tell you, the books have adjusted.
Ferrall Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid.
Dialing it back to his old days with St. Louis and Arizona. Buy or sell, Goldie will finish top 7 in fantasy first baseman.
No, I'm going to say no. I think he'll fall off. Older player here, he'll be top 10, but not top 7 here. Top 10, I would say I'd buy it. Top 7, I'm going to say no here. I think he'll put up decent numbers here. Not as good as he was. I don't think he's going to bat 340, 350 all year long.
Fantasy Sports Today, only on SportsGrid.
Six 6-4 Seattle in the ninth at Wrigley. Seattle's up. Crawford having a great game. 0 for 4 with multiple strikeouts. I'm watching this guy. I mean, he is just putting on an air conditioning clinic at Wrigley. He's swinging and missing everything. The entire stadium's got their hair blowing in the opposite direction.
He struck out the other night. Me and Joe had him late night. We've been playing guys for hits, runs, RBIs combo, 3+ hits, runs, RBIs. So we took this Crawford the other night. Comes up second time up, bases loaded. Today. If he gets a hit, we get the 3, right? 1 hit, he'd drive in 2 runs, we'd be clean. Guy just, like you said, swing and miss. Like you could feel the breeze all throughout Seattle.
I mean, it's windy. You talk about Windy City. He's providing air conditioning for the whole north side of Chicago.
He stinks. The Cards sweep a doubleheader at the White Sox. Nolan Arenado had his 350th career home run. We always like to play first home runs for guys. I'm actually going to play the second because he had 2 in one game. Your boy, Jack Caglione, FanDuel Sportsnet.
And there it goes. Deep into right center field, a no-doubter. And Jack Caglione's first big league game with a home run is a multi-home run game.
Yeah, I mean, 2 of them. He means business. Guy's huge.
He now has those 2 homers were more than all the Royals right fielders so far this year combined. Had combined for 1 home run the entire first 3 months of the season. Caglione had 2 last night. So good job by him.
Leave him up now for the rest of the season and stop messing around.
No point ever taking him out of the lineup. Mike Trout, since coming off the IL, look at what he's slashing. 323, 416 OBP, 477. Trout has been ridiculous. PCA.
He hit one yesterday.
He did, a deep shot into the bullpen. PCA, 4th fastest player to get to 20 homers, 20 steals in a single season. 73 games is all it took him. Too bad it took Eric Davis 46 in 1987. It took Canseco 68 in 1988, and then 2 years ago, Tatis Jr. only took him 71. But the 4th fastest, I'd say that's pretty good for Pete Crow Armstrong. And you mentioned this earlier, Sammy's back at Wrigley today for the first time in over 20 years, slamming Sammy Sosa.
Did he still look like Dracula?
Yes. He does still look like Dracula, believe it or not.
Didn't he
does
like
still look
bleach
like
himself
Dracula.
or something? Like, what is happening? Like, what is
I don't know what's going on with any of that.
Did Michael
did you
Jackson
see-
do that too? Like, we have to have a bleaching segment on the show at least once every few years.
Now, I don't know if we have this footage because it came in so late, but did you know, in honor of the 50th anniversary of Jaws, we love ballpark food, Yankee Stadium will have a Jaws souvenir cup with a Jaws milkshake in it. That's vanilla ice cream, raspberry sauce, whipped cream, blue gummy sharks, Lifesavers gummies, available on the main level at Yankee Stadium this weekend. You should go for this alone, Scotty. The Jaws 50th anniversary milkshake.
What was
out
your
at the
favorite?
stadium.
Like that just looks like a stomach ache waiting to happen. What was your favorite line of the movie? Mine was, "Those beady eyes."
Yeah, that's the beady eyes.
Robert
is probably
Shaw.
The one that takes it. What a film! They just don't make movies like that anymore. They just don't make movies like that anymore.
That is such a great movie. I remember, like, so it creeped me out so bad when I was a kid. Like, I used to like go down to my grandma's in Boca and swim in her pool, and I used to think when I was swimming in the pool alone that a shark was, because it was right on the intercoastal on the ocean. I thought a shark was going to crash through the cement and eat me. I'd swim so fast, you had no idea. Remember when you were a kid running home from the bus and you thought, the kids were chasing you and you ran super fast when someone was chasing you to kill you? Same thing with the shark. I'd swim so fast because I thought the shark was going to catch me and rip my leg off. Remember the little girl, 9 years old, the other day? The shark just bit her hand right off. Never go in the dark water, Mike. Only in turquoise. I've always told you that.
No shot you get me anywhere near any of that water. A couple of eagles on the back nine, and suddenly Tommy Fleetwood at 9 under is tied for the lead with Scheffler and Thomas, who are in the clubhouse. Tommy Fleetwood going off here
Fleetwood Mac
in Cromwell, Connecticut. Unbelievable.
Here we go at Oakmont. Let's start with the course. What do we know about this course? How long is the rough, and does course history come into effect for you this week?
The U.S. Open has always been billed as the most difficult test of golf there is on the planet. And I tell you what, it's often labeled as the most difficult golf course in the world is Oakmont.
Game time decisions. Only on SportsGrid.
We don't want you playing here. Can you move positions? Do something else. He starts the season like 0 for 150, it felt like, and finally finds himself in a groove at the plate, hitting 272. 15 home runs on the season? Now he's shipped to San Francisco.
What is management going to do? Nobody who's paying you $313.5 million is going to hear anything from you. They'll figure out a way to get rid of you, and that's exactly what they did.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
Every 5 days, it's really exciting when Skeens pitches, and it's terrible watching him pitch because every time he pitches, they don't score.
Having him hit the lineup probably would actually help when he pitches. There's no way to do it because you can't, but yeah, it's beyond frustrating. And the numbers will tell you, the books have adjusted.
Ferrall coast to coast, only on SportsGrid.
Dialing it back to his old days with St. Louis and Arizona. Buy or sell, Goldie will finish top 7 in fantasy first baseman.
No, I'm going to say no. I think he'll fall off. Older player here, he'll be top 10, but not top 7 here. Top 10, I would say I'd buy it. Top 7, I'm going to say no here. I think he'll put up decent numbers here. Not as good as he was. I don't think he's going to bat 340, 350 all year long.
Fantasy Sports Today, only on SportsGrid.